Susie and Jeff, tonight the American Bar Association is asking the Senate Judiciary Committee to delay proceedings on the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation so the FBI can get the facts in this case. That's not likely to happen, though, because the GOP Senate leadership feels they have delayed a vote long enough. All this just hours after an intense day-long hearing at which both parties presented their stories.
This has destroyed my family and my good name.
My family and I have been the target of constant harassment and death threats, and I have been called the most vile and hateful names imaginable.
In one of the most fiery and emotional Senate Judicial Committee hearings in years, Dr. Blasey Ford and Judge Brett Kavanaugh each told their stories about an alleged sexual assault incident in the 1980s.
I was pushed onto the bed, and Brett got on top of me. He began running his hands over my body and grinding into me. I believed he was going to rape me. I tried to yell for help. When I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from yelling. This is what terrified me the most and has had the most lasting impact on my life. It was hard for me to breathe, and I thought that Brett was accidentally going to kill me.
I categorically and unequivocally deny the allegation against me by Dr. Ford. I never had any sexual or physical encounter of any kind with Dr. Ford. I've never sexually assaulted Dr. Ford or anyone.
Judge Kavanaugh went even further, charging that the whole affair was ginned up by Democrats as part of a left-wing conspiracy.
This whole two-week effort has been a calculated and orchestrated political hit, fueled with apparent pent-up anger about President Trump and the 2016 election, fear that has been unfairly stoked about my judicial record, revenge on behalf of the Clintons, and millions of dollars in money from outside left-wing opposition groups. This is a circus.
Kavanaugh did not present any evidence to back up this claim, but some Republican senators, including Lindsey Graham, picked up the theme and went after the Democrats.
If you wanted an FBI investigation, you could have come to us. What you want to do is destroy this guy's life, hold this seat open, and hope you win in 2020. You've said that, not me. You've got nothing to apologize for. This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics. And if you really wanted to know the truth, you sure as hell wouldn't have done what you've done to this guy.
But California Senator Kamala Harris says it's Blasey Ford who's gone the extra mile to back up her allegations, not Kavanaugh.
You have passed a polygraph and submitted the results to this committee. Judge Kavanaugh has not. You have called for outside witnesses to testify and for expert witnesses to testify. Judge Kavanaugh has not. But most importantly, you have called for an independent FBI investigation into the facts. Judge Kavanaugh has not.
And now there are several new developments in reaction to the hearing. The leadership of the Senate Judiciary Committee is sticking with the schedule for a committee vote on confirmation Friday morning.
Right now, the hearing is noticed for 9:30. I expect that we'll go in, and I support a markup vote.
The markup in this case means the Kavanaugh nomination would be brought up for a vote just 14 hours after the hearing ended, apparently reflecting the Republican belief that they have enough votes to pass it on to the full Senate, and fearing that waiting could make things even worse.
I think it's time to vote. The longer that the nomination remains open, we know that more and more of these scurrilous, anonymous, and uncorroborated allegations will be made. Unfortunately, that's part of the search and destroy process that, frankly, I think is an embarrassment to the Senate.
That's a stunning blow to Democrats who are pushing for a delay on the vote.
I hope that members of the committee who heard this whole day agree that what we should do here is pause for a week and investigate these allegations so that both the integrity of the Supreme Court and our committee process is respected and defended.
Now, we reported the American Bar Association has requested a delay in the Kavanaugh proceedings to get more information on the alleged sexual assault. But tonight, the Republican leadership says the committee will vote on the Kavanaugh nomination tomorrow morning. And the action could then move to the full Senate for a test floor vote on Saturday. So it's on the fast track, Susie.
All right.